This is Beyond the Verdict. I'm John Horford with Marion Cook, and Christine is over there sneezing. Nobody noticed.
Quiet.
If they don't watch the videos on Facebook or YouTube or wherever else they are, they wouldn't even know probably.
Cool.
Until you said it.
Yeah, I was going to say until you told them.
You're supposed to play off that, but
How?
I don't know, man. I'm trying. I'm trying to make it original every single time we come on, but
You're original.
No, apparently I'm not original enough.
Well, I'm lucky you haven't given me a nickname yet, so good job.
No, Myrene, I can't. You're too sassy. And I've already been attacked for pointing that out. So, you good?
Yes.
What do you want to say?
Nothing. I'm just adjusting my microphone.
Okay. This week we're going to talk about a case that shouldn't be controversial, but it is because of the individuals that this scumbag is associated with and the potential ramifications of people on this alleged list coming to light and ruining their reputations and lives.
So, John, who's the scumbag?
Well, it was an individual born January 20th,
Wait, why aren't you saying his
1953
name?
in Brooklyn, New York. He dropped out of college. He became a math teacher at the Dalton School. I guess he was a math prodigy. And he met a bunch of powerful people. He joined a firm in the 70s, Bear Stearns, eventually becoming a financier, managing money for billionaires. And then he founded his own firm, J. Epstein & Co. And then from there, his success just blew up. He had a ton of money, amassed this enormous amount of wealth, and he got homes in Manhattan, Palm Beach, New Mexico, Paris.
And a private island.
Little St. James in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And he would fly people down on the Lolita Express.
Is that what it was really called?
I don't know if he actually called it that or if people call it that. But if he called it that, it would be like, you're literally telling people that you sleep with little girls.
It's creepy.
It's super creepy. It's super creepy. So, Jeffrey Epstein allegedly ran a sex trafficking ring.
Is that alleged?
Targeting underage girls. That it's a sex trafficking ring, I believe it is alleged. He was found guilty in 2008 of sexual behavior, like some sort of like sexual charge related to minors that he was paying to massage him in Florida.
Yeah, I think it was minors involved in some sort of prostitution that he was purchasing, so to speak. I don't know the language of those charges. But his sentence on that was just stupid.
Yes. So he served 13 months in a private wing of a county jail, and he had work release 6 days a week.
All right, two things right there. Private wing, why? Number one, why would you get that other than money can buy it and that's how you got it? But number two, if you are a convicted sex offender, you shouldn't get work release.
Unless you're friends with the then U.S. Attorney, Alexander Acosta. And
13 months is crazy.
Yeah, 2 state prostitution charges.
And that was 2008.
Yes, and it said the MPA immunized unnamed co-conspirators, including Ghislaine Maxwell.
Shocking. But they didn't learn their lesson in 2008, did they?
Because I got off pretty much. I mean, late.
I mean, obviously the behavior never stopped, but the controversy related to Jeffrey Epstein is in the company that he kept, because we're talking very high profile individuals who the majority of people know the names of. Mm-hmm. Should we continue to talk about
Donnie?
This, or he's obviously top. The presidents are top of the list. Donald Trump and Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
Clearly had relationships with Jeffrey Epstein. There's no denying it. You can say whatever you want. There's like dozens of pictures of them all hanging out together. But they're just 2 people on the list. There's lots of people that a lot of Americans and people in general know on this list.
Wasn't there a member of the royal family from Britain?
Prince Andrew's on the list.
And there were high-ranking prosecutors, federal prosecutors, I think, too, right?
There may have been, I don't know if this is a complete list or if it's just like the most famous people on the list.
These people that were on the jet or
written
what?
down. I think these are people, yes, the flight logs.
Well, wasn't Ken Starr one of them?
Ken Starr, Bill Clinton's best friend, was indeed one of them. Bill Richardson, former New Mexico Governor George Mitchell, former U.S. Senator, Kevin Spacey, Chris Tucker, Naomi Campbell, Courtney Love, Gwen Stefani, Mick Jagger, Alec Baldwin, Prince Andrew, Stephen Hawking, Lawrence Krauss, Marvin Minsky, Les Wexner, David Copperfield, the magician, Ron Burkle, Mort Zuckerman, Alan Dershowitz.
Who's a famous lawyer, defense attorney, though. So,
Yes.
you know.
Scary.
Yep. Bill Gates, Rupert Murdoch, former Disney exec, Jeffrey Katzenberg.
What's the list? What's the list everyone wants released now? Like that's a list of.
I think they have a list. They think they have a list of all of the people that Jeffrey and Ghislaine, because they ran this ring, came to them seeking to utilize their network.
You think there's documentation?
They think there is.
Who's they? The people asking about the list.
Random people in the public.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess. Well, there are also like elected officials who believe
yeah.
that there's a list too. But
So there were grand jury indictments for Maxwell and Epstein initially, right? And in those grand jury documents, they may have listed who the victims said were brought there, who the victims say
Abused
were
them
brought
or-
to abuse them.
Yep.
And those grand jury documents have remained sealed
Okay.
up to this point. So those may be the lists people are kind of clamoring over, because that may include not just who may have been on the airplane manifest, but who the victims say
Right.
did the bad things.
Right.
do you think there's a list?
I'm sure there probably is.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably just.
It's part of the
Evidence,
evidence that they
witness testimony,
used.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Because they didn't have just 1 or 2 victims. They had multiple victims who came forward when this all was sort of busting open. A lot of young girls who were older now, but were, 14, 15, and around that age at the time. And I think even maybe some of the employees of Epstein's Island kind of came forward and said there were a lot of young girls here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are a lot of girls who have come forward
Right.
and have said that they were abused by
Yes.
individuals that were related to Jeffrey Epstein in some sort of context.
And Maxwell was convicted of a lot of counts, it seems like, and she got a really hefty sentence. Was it a life sentence she received?
I don't know exactly. I'll look it up right now.
It was fairly substantial, because I know recently I saw in the news that the Attorney General for the United States, Pam Bondi, was recently stated or quoted that she was reaching out to Maxwell's attorneys because they did want to sit down with her and see what other far-reaching things she could clarify for what happened with Epstein.
Yep.
Yeah.
She got 240 months, 20 years in federal prison for her role in the trafficking, 5 years of supervised release to follow her term in prison, and a $750,000 fine imposed by the court.
And she's going to get that money from what? Prior prostitutioning?
I think she's from a very wealthy family.
I was going to ask that about the last episode, actually. Like the huge fines that they like impose or whatever, make murderers, criminals pay. What if they just don't have that money? Where do you?
They're just outstanding.
Oh, it's just like debt that's in your name.
Yeah, it's outstanding. However, there are a lot of states where if, say, for example, Epstein went to prison, I'm just going to make this up, and he had to owe restitution to a lot of the victims or their families, if anybody puts a lot of money on what they call their commissary account, where they can buy things in prison, like, you can buy like deodorant and whatever, or you can buy snacks, or you can buy whatever. If there's a lot of money on there, though, that money can be taken up to half of that to help reimburse the restitution amounts. It depends on the state. It may be different, but there are some states that are at least half of it can be
like
taken.
The little pleasures that they do have,
They shouldn't get any pleasures.
then just kill them.
Okay.
Like,
She said, "Bring out the firing squad."
For some people, but you're in prison for a reason. Why should you have luxuries?
because then it's just pure torture.
No, it's not. It's not cruel and unusual punishment according to the 8th Amendment to the Constitution.
I
It
think
doesn't qualify.
It's if I put you in a room, probably a third of the size of this room that we're in right
give them
now.
books to read. They don't need TV and cable. They don't need Little Debbie and Hostess snack cakes.
It just helps pass the time, and I feel like they're
I don't care if they pass
going
the
to
time or not.
be better prisoners. If
There
they
are some
have
people that you
little
can rehabilitate,
pleasures.
and those people deserve to have access to things that will rehabilitate them, whether it's counseling or whether it is
Snack cakes?
not snack cakes or educational things.
No snack
But
cakes.
there are some who are the worst of the worst criminals, and I don't think they deserve any of those
Then
luxuries.
just kill them.
Okay.
Like, no argument from
Slowly
me.
let them rot.
So let's get into the 2019 federal indictment.
Okay.
Okay. So there was investigative reporting around some sex trafficking that he had done early on, even before he was caught in 2008. I believe the charges for this spanned from 2002 to 2005 and involved girls as young as 14. So Epstein was arrested at the Teterboro Airport in New Jersey and indicted on federal sex trafficking charges, alleged abuse in his Manhattan townhouse and at his Palm Beach estate. There were dozens of victims and the potential for life in prison. He was found with hundreds of nude photographs, including underage girls in these photographs. So then he's arrested and he's put in a jail cell at Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan. And this is where the controversy really begins to, like, they just dump gasoline on the whole thing.
I feel like we need music. Bum, bum, bum.
Alex could throw that in there. He knows what to do. So Epstein is in this prison in New York. He's on suicide watch, but then several days before he's murdered, several days before he commits suicide, he's taken off suicide watch, and then there are security cameras and they malfunctioned. So they couldn't get the angles like of the cell. And then the guards during that period of time also happened to be asleep. And he had no cellmate, despite having tried to attempt suicide earlier in his prison sentence. So lots of people believe that the powers that be came together and colluded to silence Epstein. So they didn't, release all of the information that would show that they were involved in these horrible crimes against minors.
But he wasn't convicted yet. It was still all pending, right?
Yeah.
So he didn't have a sentence yet. He was just there because his bond wasn't able to be met. They probably held him on no bond at that point.
Possibly.
Because he'd be a flight risk. That's one of the reasons that the court can consider if he's a flight risk. And if he's got all that money and access to planes and whatnot,
Yep.
he could leave the U.S. and go to a non-extraditable country and live out the rest of his life abusing people there. So they probably gave him no bond based upon the magnitude of what he did.
Yep.
But how soon was he on suicide watch prior to his death? Like, was it the week before? Was it like, did he actually?
He was on suicide watch up until a couple of days before his death.
Right. I didn't phrase that right. When was the time that he attempted suicide that put him on suicide watch?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I could look it up.
Because, like, were they keeping him on suicide watch just because? Or had he tried to commit suicide like 2 weeks earlier, 2 months earlier, a year earlier? I don't know.
Also, I thought there was a video of outside his cell, but it was like edited, or there was like a chunk
It
missing.
was edited. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was edited.
You can tell by like the file that it's not a raw file. It's
Yeah.
like been through an editor software.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
And they can't figure out how that happened.
Right.
The rich and powerful don't want them to.
Which, I mean, it's worked. Like the only person that's gone down for this is Ghislaine.
But why is she still alive? She knows all the secrets, and no offense saying it this way, but she knows where the bodies are buried. She knows all the things he did because she's the one who procured most of the young girls for him,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
Right.
She would know the list probably off the top of her head.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why hasn't that happened to her?
Because she thinks she might get murdered.
Yep. So Jeffrey Epstein
don't know.
attempted suicide 2 weeks before his death on August 10th, 2019. July 23rd, 2019, guards hear noises around 1:27 a.m. from his cell. He was found semi-conscious on the floor with a piece of orange cloth around his neck. And then that's when they put him on suicide watch. And then they
So
took him
he
off.
strangled himself? This wasn't like a hanging by his sheet?
I think it was. I thought that's what it was. A sheet or like Renault.
Orange cloth around his neck. I don't know.
Oh, that's how he actually did it, maybe? Or
Yeah, I'm
actually did it?
looking at the article for additional context.
Because it seems to me, you hang yourself, that's one thing, and you're hanging there and you can't get down, right?
But you tie something around your neck and your hands are free. It's like you'd probably just loosen it.
I mean, well, at some point you're going to pass out and your grip's going to go. So how would you be able to?
I mean,
Or someone else
it's-
did it.
It seems like that could be what happened. I mean, what, the first time or the second time?
Second. Oh, you're talking about the first.
Yeah, we're talking about the first.
My bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It's strange.
He could have really tried the first time, and then people heard him, intervened, and then someone else came in to make sure it got done. I'm already down the
Yeah.
conspiracy rabbit hole.
Do you think it was suicide or do you think he was killed?
I don't think so. I think we underestimate how easy it is for people with that much power and influence to have someone killed like that. I mean,
I
don't
think
know.
there's too many red flags to think it was just suicide. I mean,
Yeah.
the guards are asleep, the cameras malfunctioned,
Right.
all the other things
And
that
apparently-
fell into place.
Apparently, there's nothing in the cell that you can actually hang yourself from,
Okay.
which makes a lot of sense.
Sure. So how did he die then? Wasn't it asphyxiation?
They said it would have to be something low. So I mean, almost like in the cases where they've claimed that an individual hung themselves from a door handle, like it would have to
Right.
be something very low level. It wouldn't be something up high.
But it doesn't seem like they have like headboards on the bed if it's a bunk bed. You know what I'm saying? There's not like something you could hang yourself there.
I don't know. I guess we'd have to see specifically what the layout was of that.
Okay, so the cameras aren't working, but aren't there other cells in and around this? Like, isn't there people in the cell across the hallway?
probably.
But was everybody just asleep?
He has a history of getting his own private wing whenever he gets locked up. So maybe he just had a
True,
private
maybe he
wing.
did, which was to his detriment. He should have been in general population, whether people saw him,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
because he might have been safer.
Yeah, but maybe he did want to die.
Probably, but
Yeah, but he's a billionaire. I mean, he probably thought he would get off.
yeah,
But
he
he's
did the
also-
first
but
time.
He's also a child molester, so maybe he just accepted that he was
They never accept that.
a piece of shit.
They think they're going to get off so they can keep doing it.
Yeah.
Well, he's not.
Well, he's not, no, but
He's
I don't
not.
think that was done
But
because he
also-
suddenly had a conscience.
Right. Also, at the time of the second arrest or whatever, his buddy was the president. You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you think, like, oh, I could, and he was clearly friends with him.
Christina,
like,
why do you think they're friends? Just because they were in dozens of pictures together
And videos.
and clearly partied together?
and talked about each other.
Yes. And we're very fond of each other.
Exactly.
Why are you spreading these rumors?
You know,
I just have a
Sorry.
question because I don't know. What was the date of those photos? Was it around the 2018, 2019 when he was indicted, or was it?
What photos?
of them together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Him and Joe.
No, it's been since like the 80s.
90s.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's older stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Through the
okay.
years.
Right.
To
That this was
prove that
happening.
it's like a relationship over time. It wasn't just like he saw him at an event and they took a picture.
I wasn't arguing with you.
No,
I just didn't know the dates.
I don't think you're arguing with me. I'm just
You
providing
would know
context.
if I was arguing with you.
I would. I've experienced that. It's terrifying.
You have not.
I'm so scared.
Christina, stop him.
I'm very scared. But yes, he had a relationship very clearly with Donald Trump, and he had a relationship with Bill Clinton and
A lot of people.
Yeah,
many,
exactly.
many
There's a
others.
lot of people.
A lot of
Many others.
celebrities,
Yes,
a lot of
many
like,
people.
A lot of people
in
with power.
positions of power, a lot of billionaires,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Money
But
is
it's
power.
Billionaires on that list.
yes, and I know I don't want to necessarily. The only reason I'm going to bring Trump into this again is just because he's the president of the United States of America currently, and he also has a history of saying really weird, creepy things, particularly about wanting to have sex with his own daughter when she was younger. Yikes. And that you can just grab a woman when you're famous, you can do whatever you want, grab them by the pussy, blah, 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 blah.
Let's focus on Epstein.
I
'Cause
don't-
This isn't about Trump.
It's about Trump because I feel it's partially about Trump because I feel that there's information, or maybe there isn't information, because I think the Biden administration had looked into this and they had said that they could not find like a solidified list that has been suggested to exist. And then the Trump administration also says the same thing. But people had called Biden a liar and had said that he was trying to hide this information from the public. And then when Trump comes out and says, well, actually, I think that he's right. Like, we can't find this list either. They're like, oh, okay, well, maybe it doesn't exist. And then there are several legislators who were trying to pass legislation, I think, to force this information out somehow. Correct?
I think so. I don't know.
I haven't
what
heard about the
information.
legislation piece, but I do know a lot of people, and we mentioned it already, were trying to get their hands on the sealed documents from the grand jury.
Yeah, I think it's related to that.
I feel like it's probably a lot of victim testimony that, again, like I feel like we've mentioned in past cases or episodes, that a lot of that happens in private. So like you don't have a lot more than the word of the victim, and people don't really trust women or believe women a lot in these situations, as much as they should.
Well, I think in these
situations.
cases, though, they did have a lot of photographs of all the creepy shit happening with the young girls.
Right.
But-
and they probably had videos, would be my guess, because if
think?
they're going to be that involved in that lifestyle, chances are they were videotaping shit too.
So you think there was like pictures of the girls with the guys, or just
Potentially. There could have been, or they could have just been pictures of the girls posed, like, you know, you're on the plane, pick which one you want when we get there, kind of thing, and they're posed in very sexually suggestive ways. I mean, that's a circumstance too.
yeah,
Sort of like a menu. I hate to say that, but that's what it's looked at like.
yeah. But like as evidence wise, you can't link just a picture of a girl to anyone else besides Epstein because they were in his possession, right?
Unless you can link, maybe it came from your phone, or you can show somebody else in the photo, or you can find what the origin of that photo is. Then maybe you can link other people. It just depends.
Yeah. If there is evidence of like if there's all these photos and videos, why the fuck is that being kept secret by anybody?
So I was gonna bring this up related to that somewhat. It's not related to the celebrities, but related to the initial charges that he went to prison for in 2000 or jail for in 2008. Over 30 girls came forward, and he admitted to paying minors for sex.
And he got 13 months.
And he was in his office 6 days a week because of some secret like plea deal
That's
or
crazy.
immunity deal. How does that even happen?
I don't know. You had 30 victims. They should have all had to say. They should have been able to, just like we've talked about before, have input on what they'd like to see happen. I mean, you know, sometimes you get victims who don't want to testify. Totally understand. It's the worst traumatic thing of their life, and they don't want to relive it in front of a courtroom full of people. But you've got 30 of them, right? 30. So I can't imagine they would need to cut a deal with a guy like that. I don't know why they would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. Why do child predators get like a slap on the wrist for
I
like
think
2
they
years
had
max?
he had a
Like,
relationship with that U.S. attorney, Acosta, correct?
Oh.
I think it's related to that in some way.
It certainly could be, because that's why you get a deal then if you know somebody or
And
you pay somebody.
Yeah, and because of the friends that he kept. It's amazing. I wonder how many of these pictures, and I don't have proof that they have pictures after he went to jail in 2008, like him and specifically like Clinton and Trump, just because you're a president. Like that's a different level, I think.
Well, after that charge, they'd probably want to distance themselves.
Yeah,
as
I'd be
much as
curious.
possible.
I'd be curious though, and maybe this is what we do for the next episode. We look into it a little bit more and just see when some of these interactions were, when some of these flight logs and the specific dates happened. Because if people are still interacting with this individual after this, that's a massive, massive, massive red flag. I couldn't be caught dead with someone who had admitted to doing what Epstein went to jail for in 2008.
Legally would say they are on notice of his predilection for prostitution or young girls and pedophilia. So they were on notice. They should have backed away, said no. You can't say, oh, I just went on vacation because the island is beautiful and great and he offered me a free vacation. Bullshit. You
Also,
already
you're
know
all-
what he's convicted of.
And you're all rich.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about a free vacation at that point?
Yeah, exactly. Why do you want to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein so
Right.
bad? Is he just that funny? Is he that fun to be around?
No.
Does he have the best wine and the best chefs? Like, what's the reason?
I'm sure some of those things are in place, but that's probably not the reason they were all going there.
Yeah, and I'm not, and even if people were going there to fulfill certain sexual fantasies, I'm not necessarily even saying it was all with minors, but we know for a fact
A lot
that
of it
some
was.
of them were.
But, this goes back to another case. Why did people go to Diddy parties? Because they did, right? Because maybe they wanted some of those fantasies
It was the place.
fulfilled.
It was the place to be.
Right. So maybe Epstein Island was too.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
We'll look into some more of these details, try to connect some more of these dots, go down some Reddit rabbit holes, and come back and provide a part 2 that is hopefully extremely satisfying.
I have an inquiring mind question.
Oh.
What happened to Epstein Island now that Epstein is no longer around?
That's something we got to look up, or somebody can, write us, leave us a message.
Like, is
Who would
this
wanna buy
place
that?
just abandoned and
Someone's
everybody left
going to want to
it?
buy it. You serious?
Yeah, but the
US
bad
Virgin
vibes
Islands?
there. I know, but you can go anywhere else in the Virgin Islands.
Just
There's
make
a
sure
lot
you
of-
wash everything, right?
Just burn it down, rebuild
start
it,
over.
some sage.
Yeah,
I don't
lots
want-
of sage.
I don't want to minimize what happened there because it really is terrible.
It is, but I mean, like, I'm kind of curious. Is it just abandoned and it's sitting there, dilapidated? Like people go through old houses or mansions because they're abandoned. Somebody going to go through that and find a bunch of shit? Who knows?
Probably.
I mean, hopefully any evidence has been collected.
I'm sure it has. Well, actually, I'm sure it's all been destroyed
All the evidence?
by the powers
Oh,
out there
well,
that don't want this stuff to come out. It's a big deal.
I know.
It's a big deal if people are, messing with underage girls. Come on, especially the level of people that he was hanging around with. But
I have another inquiring mind question.
yeah,
Was anybody on the list that we know of, did any of them come out and apologize for their actions?
I think a lot of them denied even being associated with Epstein.
Apologize for what actions? Being around?
Well, for
or-
engaging in any of that or being around
Spoken
him.
spoken like somebody who's on the Epstein list.
What?
It's like, what actions? We didn't do anything. I didn't do.
Did I say that?
You
You
just
got me
did.
confused now.
You just did.
Okay, I finished. Sorry. Forgot now.
Did you know Jeffrey Epstein?
Now I can't even remember why I asked that question because you threw me off.
I'm
I
sorry.
was going to follow up, but now I don't even know where I was going.
I apologize.
Oh, I was just going to say that would be admitting guilt. Why would they do that? Because then
Well, they
they're
might
gonna
not
get
admit
prosecuted.
everything they did, but they might admit, I shouldn't have been there. It was wrong to save their reputation. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have taken that free invitation to the party.
Yeah.
Wink, wink, just
Yeah.
the party. Do you have any inquiring mind questions you want to know for the next episode?
Yeah. Why hasn't anyone else been convicted? Why?
Well, maybe that's why the AG is trying to have a sit down. And I do know Maxwell's attorneys agreed to have her talk to federal prosecutors and the AG's office.
Hell
so
yeah.
maybe they want they want names and maybe they're going to go after more of the, I don't know, frequent flyers, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Would you offer her a lesser deal in exchange for people, more information, more names, witness
See,
testimony?
as a prosecutor, it's always hard to do that because you don't know what you're going to get, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would always say, if there's a co-defendant and you want to turn on the other person, you have to give me what we call a proffer. You have to give me some inkling, some details of what you know,
Yeah.
so I can decide how worth it is.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I would make her do that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. If you have any questions, or if we left out some details that you would love for us to cover in the next episode, reach out to us. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave a message. Let us know. Tell Myrene that she's a liberal in the comments. She loves that.
No, tell John that's what he is. But
I can
we
live
are
with that.
also looking for other cases you think would be interesting for us to talk about and analyze. So if there's a case out there that you really want us to dive into, let us know what that might be as well.
Christina, you got anything?
I got nothing.
You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.